Good morning students. Today we are going to discuss one of the most important and largest cell organelle that is present inside the cell, and this is nucleus of the cell. We know that nucleus is present in each and every living organism, whether it is a unicellular organism, a prokaryote और अ यूकैरियोट. अगर हम दोनों की बात करते तो इन स्टार्टिंग वी डिस्कस्ड कि प्रोकैरियोट्स में जो न्यूक्लियस है दैट इज़ नॉट द कंप्लीट और ट्रू न्यूक्लियस, बिकॉज वहाँ पर हमें न्यूक्लियर एनवलप देखने को नहीं मिलता है. बट इफ़ वी टॉक अबाउट न्यूक्लियस दैट इज़ प्रेजेंट इनसाइड अ eukaryotic cell. So here we are going to study a complete structure of nucleus with nuclear envelope. So nucleus is the largest cell organelle. It is the control center that is controlling the functioning of all the metabolic activities in the cell, everything that is taking place inside the cell. The nucleus is the control center for all activities. So it is the control center. सेल में जितनी भी एक्टिविटीज़ होती हैं, ट्रांसपोर्ट है, प्रोटीन सिंथेसिस है, आरएनए सिंथेसिस है, एवरीथिंग इज कंट्रोल्ड बाय न्यूक्लियस. But another important thing about nucleus is that this nucleus is having the genetic material. That is, most of the organisms are having DNA. That's why I have written DNA. So genetic material is going to be present inside the nucleus. So these are some of the important things about nucleus. Now if we talk about the history of nucleus, so nucleus was first seen by Robert Brown in orchid root cells. In root cells of orchid, he observed that in the cell a darkly stained body is present. It was almost round in structure, very darkly stained, and he gave the term nucleus. And each and every cell, we know nucleus is present in all the cells except few mature cells are not having nucleus. Like we are having mammalian RBC, sieve cells in plants, they are lacking nucleus. But it is not the case that they never had a nucleus. They are having nucleus. जब वो immature stage पे present होती हैं उस टाइम उनमें nucleus present होता है, but जैसे जैसे maturation होता है they become differentiated, start performing their function. At that time nucleus is going to be degenerated. तो mature cells में nucleus नहीं है, but immature stage में they are also having nucleus. If we talk about the number of nucleus, then most of the cells are having single nucleus, uninucleate cells are there, but some of the examples are there where binucleate stage is there, means in one single cell two nucleus are present. Like if we take simple example, there is example of Paramecium chordatum. This Paramecium is having two nucleus. One is large in size, that is known as macronucleus, and the second one is small in size, known as micronucleus. This macronucleus, it is responsible for controlling different functions of the cell. So functioning metabolic activities are controlled by this macronucleus, while the genetic material is present in micronucleus. So that is going to inherit to the next generation. So here two nucleus are present. Some of the organisms, some of the animal cells, they are also having a polynucleate situation in which one single cell is having multiple nuclei. Like muscle cells, the striated muscle cells, they are having multiple nucleus. So the cells that are present in animals and they are having multiple nucleus in them, such cells are known as syncytial cells. So they are present in animals, the polynucleate cell in some of the protists. Other than these animals and protists, even plants and fungi, इनमें भी cells present होती हैं. Fungi are mostly having septa present नहीं है, but one single hyphae is having more nucleus. So such stage is known as cenocytic stage or cenocytic cell that is present in plants and fungi. So most of the cells are going to be uninucleate, some can be binucleate or some cells can be polynucleate also. Now where this nucleus will be present inside the cell? Most of the cells are having this nucleus that is going to be present in the center of the cell. Like in animal cells also, this is going to be present in the center, almost center of the cell. While in some of the cases, the position of nucleus is going to change. जैसे हमने पहले भी बात की है, if I talk about plant cells, then the plant cells, when these cells are going to mature, then these plant cells, they are going to have a large centrally located vacuole, and because of this presence of large centrally located vacuole, nucleus is going to move towards the periphery. So the position of nucleus is going to change. In some of the animal cells also, like I am taking example of adipocytes, the fat storing cells, in them also, because of the storage of the fats, the nucleus is going to be present at the periphery. So simply most of the cells are having nucleus in the center, but in some of the cells the nucleus is going to be present towards the periphery. Now if we talk about the shape of the nucleus, that almost round in shape. Some cells like plant cells are having oval shaped nucleus also. Some cells are having disc shaped nuclei. So all over a round shape is there, but from cell to cell shape can also be varying. They are having DNA content, RNA is also present, enzymes are also present like DNA polymerase, RNA polymerase, जो DNA के replication में, transcription, RNA formation में help करते हैं. So lots of things are going to be present. So this is something basic about nucleus. Now we need to understand the ultrastructure of nucleus, that what are the different parts of nucleus and how a nucleus look like. So I'll draw a structure of nucleus and explain it, that what are the different components of nucleus. So let's discuss about the structure of nucleus. The first part of nucleus is nuclear envelope. This is the outer nucleus envelope that is made up of two membranes, the outer one, outer nuclear membrane, and inner nuclear membrane. So two membranes are there, और इन दोनों membranes के बीच का जो space होता है that is known as perinuclear space. So in between these two membranes, perinuclear space is there. Now if we see this nuclear envelope, then this nuclear envelope, it is not going to connected at some points. These are known as pores. So in the nuclear envelope, nuclear pores are there. This is a nuclear pore, and nuclear pore is made up of proteins called nucleoporins. They are made up of nucleoporins. जहाँ पर न्यूक्लियस में पोर प्रेजेंट होती है, एट दैट पॉइंट द आउटर मेम्ब्रेन एंड इनर मेम्ब्रेन दे आर कनेक्टेड विद ईच अदर, एक दूसरे के साथ कनेक्टेड होती हैं. नाउ दीज पोर्स, these are not that simple as they are looking over here. These are having various different structures, lots of complexities are there, and some of the different types of pores are there. Like we are having annulated pores. Annulated pores simply means that this pore is surrounded by a circular covering that is known as annuli, and these pores are known as annulated pores. So this is one simple example of type of pore that is present. Like this way there are different types of pores that are present and these are having various complex structures. अब जो pores यहाँ पर present होते हैं, these pores are here for the exchange of material. Exchange of material किसके बीच में होगा? Around this nucleus cytoplasm is going to be present. So from cytoplasm some of the substances can enter inside the nucleus, and from nucleus some of the substances can move out of the nucleus. So exchange takes place between cytoplasm and nucleus in both the directions, but always remember that everything cannot cross these nuclear pores. These nuclear pores are very specific in their function. They are only going to allow some of the substances to move out of the nucleus and only some of the substances to enter inside it. Everything is not allowed to enter or leave from the nucleus. So this is the function of nuclear pore. They are going to help in the exchange of material. Between nucleus and cytoplasm. So this is the first component of nucleus. Now second comes nucleoplasm. Nucleoplasm is the matter, the semi-fluid jelly-like substance that is enclosed inside this nuclear envelope. Nuclear envelope के अंदर जितना भी semi-fluid filled है, that is making the nucleoplasm of the nucleus. And this is going to be made up of different type of enzymes like DNA polymerase is there, that is helping in DNA replication. RNA polymerase is there, that is going to help in transcription. So यहाँ पर बहुत सारे enzymes present हैं, raw material present है, nucleoside is there because these are going to be involved in the process of replication. तो DNA replication के लिए DNA polymerase present है. DNA template के ऊपर जो RNA बनेगा, for that RNA polymerase is there. Raw materials are required, nucleosides are required, so they are going to be present inside this nucleoplasm. Now the third component that is present over here is nuclear lamina, or also known as fibrous lamina or nuclear matrix. This nuclear matrix, it is also known as nuclear lamina or fibrous lamina. So just beneath this envelope, here is the fibrous lamina. So this fibrous lamina, it is fibers made up of, name is suggesting it is made up of fibers, and these fibers are of acidic proteins. Various acid proteins are going to make these fibers, and these are intermediate. Filaments, हमने पहले भी बात की थी that nucleus is having intermediate filaments. Two filament type of filaments are there, lamina A, lamina B. So they are just present below the nuclear envelope, and these act as a scaffolding for chromatin. We will discuss what chromatin is also. So these threads that are seen, these threads are going to, one end is going to be attached with this nuclear matrix. So it is acting as a scaffolding for chromatin. If we talk about an animal cell, then in animal cells this lamina is having layers, this nuclear matrix is having layers, 3 लेयर्स, लेमिना 1, लेमिना 2, लेमिना 3, ये बिल्कुल न्यूक्लियर एनवलप के नीचे प्रेजेंट है। फंक्शंस क्या है? इट इज़ गोइंग टू सपोर्ट द न्यूक्लियर एनवलप, it is acting as a scaffolding for the chromatin, it is also responsible for giving rise to the different type of structures that are present inside the nucleus, other different structures. So this is how the nuclear matrix is present below it. Now inside to it we are having seen these fiber like structures, these are chromatin fibers. If we talk about these chromatin, then chromatin are going to be elongated, extended fibers that are made up of DNA and proteins, and proteins are DNA and histones. So these are long extended fibers that are having DNA and histones associated with each other, and they are going to be present in the nucleoplasm of the nucleus, plus their end, that end is known as telomere. This end is attached with nuclear matrix because these ends are sticky. जो क्रोमोसोम्स के एंड्स होते हैं वो स्टिकी होते हैं. सो टू प्रिवेंट दैट दीज क्रोमोसोम्स आर गोइंग टू अटैच विद ईच अदर विद द टू एंड्स, दैट्स वाई देयर एंड्स आर एम्बेडेड इन द न्यूक्लियर मैट्रिक्स. So if we talk about these chromatins, there are two type of chromatins depending upon how they get stained. These are euchromatin and heterochromatin. Euchromatin are those chromatins which are going to stain very light, जो बहुत light color का stain लेते हैं, and these are very thin also. So these are thin chromatin fibers which are going to take very light color stain. So thin chromatin fibers, and these are not much coiled also, almost open structures होते हैं and take very less stain. And most important thing, this euchromatin part is the functional part of our DNA. Why I am saying functional part? Because this part will be responsible for the formation of proteins. DNA से जो proteins बनते हैं, for that this euchromatin is going to be responsible. So this is the functional part. The second one is euchromatin. No, sorry, it is heterochromatin. Heterochromatin is the thick chromatin. Because it is thick, so it is going to be stained very high. So it is going to be darkly stained, take more stain, and it is the non-functional part that is not going to code for proteins. Because ये बात हम जानते हैं कि पूरा का पूरा DNA proteins के लिए कोड नहीं करता है. Only the euchromatin part is going to code for proteins. Heterochromatin part is not going to code for proteins. So these are thick chromatin strands. Take more stain, or you can say darkly stained, and non-functional. So these are the type of chromatin that are present, and they are present at the interphase state. The nucleus which we are talking about, this nucleus is the interphase nucleus. Interphase stage पर जो nucleus present होता है, chromatin are there. Next, when cell is going to divide, these chromatins are going to pack up because of the presence of histones, and they are going to form the chromosomes. तो जब तक सेल्स इंटरफेस स्टेज पर प्रेजेंट होती हैं तब तक डीएनए किस फॉर्म में प्रेजेंट होता है, क्रोमेटिन्स की फॉर्म में प्रेजेंट होता है. सो दिस इज अबाउट द पार्ट्स ऑफ न्यूक्लियस. नाउ द मोस्ट important part that is left is a circular body that is present inside the nucleus. So nucleus itself is having a darkly stained circular body that is present inside it, and that is known as nucleolus. So this is the nucleolus. So we need to explain the structure of this nucleolus. So let's see how a nucleolus looks like and what are the different components of nucleolus. So this is how a nucleolus looks like. Now this nucleolus is again a irregularly shaped body that is darkly stained and it is present inside the nucleus. The important thing about this nucleolus is at some of the points, some of the specific points, this nucleolus is attached with chromatin. बहुत सारे parts पे ये chromatin के साथ attached रहती है. So it is going to at specific points it get attached with chromatin, and that portion is known as nucleolar organizing center. Another important thing about nucleolus ki is that the membrane is not present. Nucleolus is not having a properly developed membrane, so all the material that is present inside the nucleus that is coming in direct contact with the nucleoplasm. जितना भी material nucleolus में present है वो nucleoplasm के contact में present होता है. So let's see what are the different parts or components of this nucleolus. First one is amorphous matrix. It is the all the inner matrix that is present over here. Say I am showing it with blue dots. The amorphous matrix, it is going to make the ground substance of the nucleolus, and this ground substance is made up of proteins. So this is going to be the matrix, and this matrix of nucleolus that is made up of proteins. Now the second component of this nucleolus is globular portion. I have shown over here some of the small globules. These are the making the globular portion. Now this globular portion that is present inside the matrix, and this globular portion is also made up of proteins and RNA with the ratio of 2:1, and these are the precursors. These globular portions are the precursors of ribosomes. Because we know that nucleolus, they are going to be the ribosomal factories. They are responsible for the formation of ribosomes. So these globular portions are the precursors of ribosomes. Now the third is the fibrillar portion. Fibrillar portion are these fibers, small fibers that are present in the matrix. So this is one fiber, that is the fibrillar portion. This fibrillar portion is also made up of proteins and RNA, and it is precursor of globular portion. These fibers are responsible for the formation of globules. So precursor for globules. And last comes the chromatin portion. We already talked about that nucleolus is associated with chromatin. Nucleus chromatin के साथ associated होता है. So the sum of the part is made up of chromatin. अब chromatin अगर सिर्फ बाहर की तरफ present है, boundaries पर present है, पेरिफ्री पर प्रेजेंट है, दैट इज द पेरीन्यूक्लियोलर क्रोमेटिन. सो दिस इज द पेरीन्यूक्लियोलर क्रोमेटिन दैट इज ओनली प्रेजेंट ऑन द पेरिफ्री. और जो क्रोमेटिन का पार्ट अंदर की तरफ प्रेजेंट है दैट इज द इंट्रान्यूक्लियोलर क्रोमेटिन. So all these boundaries, they are made up of chromatin only. These are the parts of nucleolus, and function of nucleolus is to make ribosomes. So that's why they are known as ribosomal factories. So these all are the important components of nucleus. Now let's see the functions performed by nucleus. These are the functions of nucleus. We have already talked about that in nucleus chromatin is present, and this chromatin is DNA associated with histone proteins. Genetic information, the chromatin that is present inside the nucleus, that is having the genetic information. Cellular activities, it is responsible for controlling all the cellular activities. All the protein synthesis will be under the control of the material that is present inside the nucleus. Now ribosomes, nucleolus that is present inside the nucleus, that is responsible for the formation of ribosomes. Variations, we have seen that whenever changes are coming in genetic material, that changes are leading to variations. Cell growth and maintenance, it is responsible for the formation of structural proteins. If more and more structural proteins are going to form, cell is going to grow properly. Cell differentiation, see each and every cell are having some specific set of genes which are related with specific functions. So nucleus is going to control the activity of these specific set of genes, because of which cell differentiation occurs, means a cell is going to perform specific function. Then cell replication, we know replication is going to be, in replication purpose involvement of nucleus is there, because nucleus is responsible for proper division in which the daughter cells are going to get equal genetic material if they are undergoing mitosis. So these are some of the functions of nucleus. Now let's discuss the last topic of our chapter, that is chromosomes. What chromosomes are? Chromosomes are rod-like structures that are basically formed when chromatin is going to be packaged. I already told you, जब नॉन डिवाइडिंग सेल है या इंटरफेस स्टेट है उस टाइम पे क्रोमेटिन प्रेजेंट होते हैं, लॉन्ग एक्सटेंडेड डीएनए फाइबर्स, दे आर एसोसिएटेड विद हिस्टोन प्रोटीन. बट जब सेल डिवाइड करना स्टार्ट करता है, व्हेन इट एंटर्स इनटू माइटोसिस और मियोसिस, at that time the chromatin with the help of histone protein it starts packaging. हिस्टोन प्रोटीन्स की हेल्प से क्रोमेटिन पैकअप होना स्टार्ट होता है, बिकॉज ऑफ विच द लेंथ ऑफ द क्रोमेटिन इज गोइंग टू रिड्यूस एंड द डायमीटर इज गोइंग टू इंक्रीज. और पैकेजिंग की वजह से द क्रोमेटिन इज गोइंग टू चेंज इनटू क्रोमोसोम. क्रोमोसोम बनाना इंपॉर्टेंट क्यों है सेल डिवीजन के टाइम पे? बिकॉज in cell during cell division what is required, the chromosomes or you can say chromatins are going to separate, genetic material separate होता है. So for separation purpose chromosomes are more easy to separate as compared to chromatin, because these are short and thick, so separation is better. If we want to observe chromosomes, then these chromosomes are easily observable at prophase, late prophase and early metaphase state. These are the stages of cell division. तो जब सेल डिवीज़न में एंटर करते हैं तो प्रोफेज ऑलमोस्ट जब फिनिश होने वाली होती है या मेटाफेज स्टार्ट होता है, उस टाइम पर क्रोमोसोम्स हमें इजीली विजिबल होते हैं. Here the number of chromatids are going to double, and these chromatids they are associated with the primary constriction, and the primary constriction is known as centromere. This is the primary constriction, or you can say centromere. and with this centromere the arms of the chromosome are associated, and these arms of the chromosomes are known as chromatids. So these are attached with the centromere. Now this centromere can be present at different positions on the chromosome, and these two arms, they can be same in size, that is isobrachial chromosome, in which the two arms are going to be equal, and if two arms are going to be unequal, that is heterobrachial chromosome. And depending upon the position of centromere, where the centromere is present in a chromosome, we are having four type of chromosomes, like metacentric, submetacentric, acrocentric and telocentric. If we talk about metacentric, that simply means that centromere is going to be present in the center and two arms are going to be equal. दोनों ही आर्म्स इक्वल होती हैं और सेंट्रोमियर सेंटर में लाई करता है. सो सेंट्रोमियर इज प्रेजेंट इन द सेंटर एंड टू आर्म्स आर इक्वल. That is simple metacentric. If we talk about submetacentric, then one arm is going to be short as compared to the second arm. The second arm, it is going to be submedian, one is going to be long and second is going to be short. So centromere is submedian. Here the centromere is going to be median. So this is a metacentric, this is a submetacentric. In acrocentric, just below the telomere, these are the telomeres, the ends, and just below the telomeres the chromatin is centromere is going to be present, and in acrocentric it is going to be present at the in telocentric it is going to be present like this. So depending upon the position of centromere, we are having these four type of chromosomes, and here present the primary constriction. Now other than this primary constriction, many of the times secondary constriction is also going to be present, and some of the DNA fragment is associated with this secondary constriction also, and this portion is known as satellite DNA, or it is also known as sat DNA, that is acting as a marker, and it is not going to code for much of the proteins, but for various genetic experiments we are going to use these sat DNA as a marker. So this is all about this chapter. Next time we are going to start with our next chapter, that is biomolecules.